Yeah.
We're back.
We are back, and we're matching, which was
Green
not
on green.
planned. And
Green is good.
I don't even have too many green things, so that's kind of funny.
Well, you know I've got a lot of green things because of the you. That's why. Green, orange and green.
Really? For those that didn't know, we didn't have an episode last week because we were both out of town.
We had a 1 week hiatus.
Yes, we did. And how about this? We both missed Shakira.
I know. I was very disappointed. Being half Colombian, my mom and Shakira, as well as Sofia Vergara, all from the same town in Colombia, Barranquilla. And I heard it was a little bit of a cluster getting in, but once you got in, she put on an amazing show.
I think it depended on when you went, too, because Viviana said that she showed up at like 7 instead of right at like 5, which I think the gates opened later, and she said she had no problem getting in.
And you know, part of the problem is, too, if you ever gone to a Fresno State football game, to get into the game is ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
And then now you throw into people that are, I think they were using like only 2 exits or entrances. So it was, I'm glad I wasn't around for that part, but I am sad that I missed what was the first and probably the greatest
I know.
show.
They did say it was sold out. I was a little bit confused about that because they said that 20,000 people did go to the show.
No, I looked, I heard 30, like between 30 and 35,000.
But
Because
the
if you
stadium holds 45, so I was or 40, I think. So I was a little bit confused why they said it was sold out. But
we got to
either
remember
way, a
half
lot
of those
people.
seats behind the stage aren't going to be sold.
That's true.
So, and although they did have the scoreboard there on that end, you have to give a sight line. So there's probably a good 5,000 to 10,000 seats that were taken away because of that. So I don't know. I did have FOMO.
Yeah. So did I.
But, you know, I was in Lake Tahoe, so I wasn't really complaining too much.
Shakira. Oh, baby, when you talk like that.
Yeah. So good for Fresno. Hopefully we get more concerts.
Yeah.
Especially in the fall, because that's a good time to have an outdoor show here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin was in Tahoe. I was back in Montana. A little bit scary with the weather. I did endure several thunderstorms, which I'm not used to being around here, and in fact, a hailstorm.
You've already forgotten, huh?
Yeah.
What it's like to live in Montana.
A hailstorm that took out the power to the house that we were staying at on Flathead Lake.
So did you have to like just play Uno and Monopoly for hours?
No. It was scary. It was like at night.
Yeah, well.
It was at night, and okay, so people in California, and I actually looked this up. I think I brought this up with you before. They have basements. Everybody has a
we don't
basement
have
in
basements
Montana.
here.
In California, there's like no
Nope,
basements.
none.
And so in the window wells of the Airbnb of the place next to the house that some of the people were staying at Flathead Lake, started flooding. And so they had to like grab buckets and get the water out of the window well, because there's these window wells for the basement.
Yeah, it's like for snow and whatnot. And
Yeah. So that was a little bit scary, but it was fun. I'm all weddinged out.
Well, 3, right?
I went to 3 weddings in 2 weeks.
Well, I was enjoying 75 to 85 degree weather in Lake Tahoe, and I brought back a souvenir. This beautiful tan line. It looks like somebody just drew it on my arm. Look at that.
Hey, I'm looking pretty tan too, but I don't have that.
You don't have this
nasty
go from a pale to
no.
tan. And that was because I did the ride around Lake Tahoe. 73 miles of fun.
Yeah.
It was a good day.
Cool.
It was a good day.
That's a long
Let's just say I
ways.
ate well at dinner that night because I was hungry. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that Colombian, should I say with a U, just to make you mad?
People, if you want to make somebody from Colombia really, really upset, spell it Columbia. We do not like that. It is a bone of contention, and I see it so many times. As I was saying earlier, I remember back in 1994, working in the news business, we have the behind-the-scenes numbers. When I saw the USA-Colombia score from the World Cup put up on a full screen and Colombia was misspelled, I called the ESPN newsroom. They changed it for the later edition, but I was like, come on, Colombia. And I don't know, you're familiar with J Balvin, right?
Yeah.
So J Balvin even addresses that in this song that he does with Major Lazer. And he's like, it's Colombia, not Columbia. Funny stuff.
No, that's so funny. That's kind of a Karen move to call up, though. I guess you're correcting them, but we get so many emails.
No, not Karen, Karen.
That's hilarious. But that brings me into when I was home. My sister brought up, so my sister is Gen Z, okay? She's 17. She's going to be a senior this year.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this one.
She brought up the term rage bait. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that kind of when you go on to, when you're on social media, and I think there's another word for it, it's the S post, where you post something so ridiculous so that you can just get people just firing off at you. And it's kind of like, remember that meme of the dude that's walking away from a car that's just exploded?
Yeah.
And they're like throwing something? I think that's basically what it is. It's like you post something so infuriatingly ridiculous and then you just don't even reply. And people get into your comments like, what do you know, yeah, I've been guilty of like getting onto the rage bait and just going off on somebody.
So I didn't know what it was, and I was like, huh? And she was like, rage bait. Have you seen the thing that's like, in the club, we all fam? And they're like, huh? In the club, we all fam. Huh?
In the club, we're all family.
So I had a moment like that with my sister where I was like, what? Huh? And she was like, pretty much, you can do it, yes, on social media, but in person too, Kevin, where you say something to make the other person mad. So that's what we were talking about in the newsroom today when I brought up the whole Columbia thing.
And then I happened to walk in right.
Right.
Perfect timing.
No, I literally said, you want to rage bait Kevin? Just say Columbia with a U. And literally you walked in right when I said the latter part of it, and it did make you mad.
Speaking of like, you know, your sister's in high school, there's this great video, saw it on the Today Show, where a school principal was giving a tour of the school, and it was done, the script was written by the students, and it was fantastic. He's like, yeah, this, you know, if you want to get your gear and your drip on, you know, come down to the school store, it's busting, and I'm like, well, we should play some of that video, but it's a fantastic. So this guy's like, you know, my age.
Yeah.
And he's totally uncool, dropping all this, you know, current language these kids speak.
Flex on all the haters in the weight room. Our students don't skip leg day or class, period.
Funny.
Yeah, we should do an episode, maybe next week or something, about different lingo that has changed over the years.
No cap.
Yeah, yeah. And things that aren't even cool anymore that I felt like were cool a couple of years ago. It's very hard to stay.
You know one thing that never goes out of style? Dude, man. Dude.
I'm going to have to ask my sister and see if it has gone out of style.
There was something else that you said about your sister, about schools, lockers.
Yes, no, we're going to get into that. But first of all, I have to say before this, because I think this will actually make you mad,
All right,
because
go
it made
for it.
me infuriated.
All right, go
She
for it.
did rage bait me by saying that I was middle-aged. And I said,
Come on, girlfriend. First
I
of all,
said
you're like,
I am
did
not
you tell her that you
middle-aged.
can live to, women especially live to be like 81?
Yeah.
So middle age would be like 40, 41, 42. And I don't even think that's middle age.
and we looked it up. Typically, it's between 40 and 60 is considered
Well, I'm
middle-aged.
smack dab in middle age. Like I said, I'm in senior living in many places. Senior discount. I'm taking it too.
As you should in these of inflation. But then my sister brought up, well, my stepmom actually brought it up with me. School is back in session, and I guess this is a little bit different.
And
for
by the way, we
California
don't
schools.
have, my generation, we do not have first day of school pictures. That just was
Really?
not a thing.
That was a thing for me, so that's strange.
Yeah, you're a lot younger than me too. We did not do that. Our parents got us in the car and took us to school. It wasn't a whole photo production where we're holding signs like we're a POW or something. You know, first day of kindergarten, first day of fourth grade. No, we just went to freaking class.
I love what the favorite color and what your plans are for this
Great.
year. That's such like, it's probably because millennials are having
Well,
kids.
it's because everybody's got a camera too.
Yeah, that's
My mom was not fiddling with my My mom was struggling to get me into the car after I, fed me breakfast to go to work and drop me off at school.
Okay, so my stepmom said, because I said, Man, you know what's crazy is I don't even think that the kids go to their lockers anymore. Like that was such a big thing. My stepmom was like, no, they do not go to their lockers. In fact, a lot of them don't even know their combination. And instead,
although I will say, you would think by now they could do facial recognition on the damn lockers,
or at least your thumbprint or something, you know, kind of like the iPhone. But she goes, no, nowadays the kids, at least in high school and maybe junior high as well, they have all of their books in their backpack. And to take it to the extreme, they're eating their lunches in their cars instead of in the cafeteria.
Well, first
so they
of all,
have, wait, let me finish. 2 backpacks, one for the first half of the day, and then once they go to their car and they eat their lunch, they switch to the second
why
backpack.
aren't these kids stronger then? They're like carrying backpacks all day. I mean, first, we utilize locker. I went to my locker between every class. That's one thing. 2, we weren't eating in our cars because I went to a Catholic high school and we were blocked from leaving campus. So we were stuck eating at school. We ate our lunch with our other fellow classmates. There was indoor and there was outdoor. And we would always eat outdoors with a little freaking tin roof cover, whether it was cold or windy. Now, I know you can't really do that in Montana. In Las Vegas, you could do that. So, yeah, no, I mean, what an isolationist. These kids, man, they don't like to socialize.
It did start, I guess, after COVID.
And I guarantee you, they probably have a group chat going on their text while they're sitting in their car by themselves.
Well, and it drives my parents nuts because they were like, during the winter, especially in Montana, you know, it's pretty cold, so you're running your car the whole time during your lunch.
Killing the environment.
I know, seriously.
I thought they were green.
My thing is I loved going to my locker. I went to my locker after every single period and grabbed
First
my
period books go in, second period books, and you have your folder.
Not only that, it has your coat hanger for your coat and all that kind of stuff.
It was a very good utilization of space for your extra junk. And then, you bring your backpack, but then you unload it, and then you load it back in at the end of the day. Simple Simon. These kids are
the worst is when
man.
you would forget like your lunch or something over or a winter break, and then all of a sudden your locker's like stinking or something. Ugh. But I will say, so when I was talking about this in the newsroom, because I was so shocked by kids not using their locker, then I heard that I guess actually in some California schools, they don't even get lockers. You only get lockers if you have PE. And so like Sarah Garcia, one of our editors, was telling me that she had to like fight to get a locker because she was on the track team. And so they had to like argue about whether or not to get, which I think is totally bizarre.
Yeah, because I mean, I had a locker for my stuff, and then we did have a locker in PE, and it really wasn't assigned. I think you just brought a lock and locked it up. And then funny is, I remember when I was a freshman, I had PE 6th period, so we didn't have to worry about showering.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to shower with anybody, because when you were done and stinky, we just wore our PE uniform home.
Yeah, that's how it kind of was for me too. I had it at the end of the
Because that can be a little bit of a thing when you have to shower with a bunch of people. I mean, you eventually do it with baseball or football, whatever. But
still, it's kind of odd. Like it was weird in.
But as a freshman, I'm gonna shower with anybody.
Yeah. No.
I like my private shower time.
Well, all of us just wore our sports bra and spandex in volleyball. We didn't even fully, even after the games. It was just too odd for us. But that brings us into kind of back to school stuff. You talked about how you didn't really take back to school photos. How about school shopping? How was that for you?
Everybody's doing back to school shopping.
But did you get a certain allowance? It's crazy now.
Mom and I would just go and we pick whatever, and then we would buy it. There was no allowance. But then again, I was brought up in a generation where I bought these jeans. My mom got them for me. They're called Tough Skins. And they had patches inside the knee part so that, because you always are scraping your knees and running around and getting rips. Well, they would rip and then the patch would be underneath. And you can get them at Sears. They were called Tough Skins. And then Sears was the first one to do sports merchandising, because it wasn't like now where you go everywhere and there's jerseys and hats and caps. No. You lived in a certain area, you only got those, when I grew up in Las Vegas, Sears would have these football NFL jerseys.
Yeah.
And it would be Steelers, Cowboys, and Rams because I lived in Las Vegas. And they weren't even the real uniforms, but they just had the same colors, and they would say Steelers or Rams or Cowboys.
That's so crazy.
And then really you couldn't get, getting a hat. You had to go to the stadium or whatever. It was a different time. Now, man, I can dress head to toe in my team's gear.
Yeah.
And hopefully wear it to school if it's not considered gang attire.
I will say it's so much more expensive now for school shopping.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and kids have a little more freedom in terms of, hey, I want this, I want that. They can dictate more than my generation.
Yeah.
We were dictated to. You're wearing this, and that's
Yeah.
what's going to be done.
yeah, it was like expensive to go school shopping now opposed to when I was growing up. And I guess it just changes with inflation and how much people are making.
Yeah.
But like I had a lot of siblings. So we each had a certain amount of money. I think it was like $150 that we each could spend.
Jeez, your poor
on
parents, man.
on clothes.
Because
And
I was an only child, so I really didn't. I was good at negotiating. I pretty much got what I wanted.
Yeah, no. See, for us, it was like you got a few.
What is $150 nowadays? Maybe buy you one
nothing.
pair of sneakers and a pair of pants, maybe.
Maybe. That's like.
If you're shopping
really-
at Kohl's.
Seriously. But no, so we would go over because in my hometown, first of all, the mall is non-existent. Now, people just go there to literally walk the mall. There's no stores.
It's us seniors doing the mall walking.
There is a call center, and there is, I think, the movie theater is
Have
still
you
there.
been to Manchester Mall lately?
It's worse than Manchester, Kevin.
I don't know.
No, Kevin, I'm not kidding you. It is the worst. There is no clothing places. There might be a Claire's still, but isn't Claire's going bankrupt? So that's about to head out the door. There is nothing there. And so we would always travel somewhere else to go get clothes. And now my sister just went school shopping last week again, the senior. The new thing, the new trend. First of all, she makes fun of me because I wear skinny jeans. Apparently that is not the in thing to do anymore. They are going to come back at some point.
It looks better.
They are going to come back at some point.
Skinny jeans look better.
She got barrel pants. Have you seen these?
I don't want to see them. I don't want to know.
Yes, you do.
I don't want to know.
I'm telling you, sorry.
Right, the legs are like probably this
They're
wide.
tight on the top, and then they go wide, think like a barrel, and then
I'm going
tight.
to break this microphone, seriously, for the amount of times I'm hitting it. What do they think? They're going to the rodeo and the clown? They're like a rodeo clown? Come on, kids. Come on. I will say, one good thing about back to school is all my teacher friends have to go back to work. Because I have a friend of mine, and he always posts at the beginning of the summer. He's like, about to start my 79-day weekend. And, and I'm like, not so much anymore, buddy. You're back to school.
You
dealing
are
with all these
back to
punks.
reality. Let's
Exactly.
go. No, but they do deserve the break because some of the stuff that they have to deal
Yes,
with nowadays
this is true. This is true.
wild. Did you have a favorite school lunch?
Yeah, well, when I was in high school, I think this is a standard for my generation. It's like in a styrofoam plate with plastic over the top, and it's that square piece of pizza available in cheese and pepperoni.
Yeah.
I don't know what they put in that pizza, but it was the best pizza of all time. And that thing was piping hot, and you'd rip it open, and the steam would come off. It's the only thing I remember. That and maybe corn dog.
I will say, so we had a public lunch, even though I went to a private school. Butte Central Schools is what I went to. But anyways, we had a couple of different things. One of the things was hot dogs, but the hot dogs have been in the water for so long that they were green, okay? Talk about disgusting. That's nasty, okay? We had the pizza. We had this thing called beef olay, which was...
I don't even want to know.
It was
Is it like every beef thrown into a pot?
No, it was tortilla chips, the round ones, that you can
Oh,
find.
so it's like nachos.
And then it had sloppy Joe mix on it. On top of that was like cheese, lettuce, tomato.
So they're like trying to make a taco salad and then call it beef olay, whatever.
well,
Very creative, Montana. Come to a real state with good Mexican food. All right, geez.
I will say that
Beef
is
olay. Butte's beef ole. Terrible.
That was a lot of people's favorite
Well,
lunch.
it sounds good, but why is it beef ole? Just call it what it is. Nachos grande, all right? Nachos grande. Come on, Montana. Jeez.
You know what's funny is that you said nachos grande, and I just came across one of our TikToks where we were talking about Taco Bell.
And I don't even know if they have it on the menu. We went to Taco Bell, I was looking it up, and Kathy, my wife, is like, no, you can still order it, but I didn't see it up on the menu. Nachos Bel Grande, those were fantastic.
Kevin and I debated whether or not Taco Bell could be healthy or not.
It can be if you do it right. But one more thing did you guys do, so we were able to get like vanilla or chocolate, kind of like a Frosty at our school lunch. And then would have kids that would get the chocolate Frosty and French fries, and they would dip the fries. I don't like marrying the two.
It? I think it's not bad. I don't know if it's
not
one
bad,
of my
but
favorite things.
I'm not gonna. I like having my crispy fries.
Yeah, I
get the sweet and the sweet and salty, but yeah, if I want my Frosty, I eat the Frosty, and I want my fries separate.
Who has the best fry, do you think, fast food place?
It's got to be McDonald's.
I love their
They
fries.
put like some drugs in there or something, some chemical, in a plant in New Jersey. That's why. Because you know what else they rule at? The hash brown.
Oh.
In the morning, their hash browns and their French fries, nobody can even come close.
I will say you can get those hash browns from Trader Joe's. Put
Oh, no,
them in
they're
the
very
air
good.
fryer.
But I'm
and
talking
that
about,
is really
when
good.
you were driving
Yeah.
around, the freaking, and there's something about the Egg McMuffin too. The way
know.
that the English muffin is like spongy, but like if you were to like get that at your house, but the way they make it on that sandwich with that little bit of butter.
It is very, very good.
McDonald's for the win.
Were there any schoolyard games that you played during recess?
Well, this is so funny. You can relate going to a Catholic school. In elementary school, we were banned from playing football before school because the nuns were just out of their mind. So we would use a tennis ball and do the exact same thing. And the funniest PA announcement of all time happened because of this. They wanted to eliminate, before school, before classes started, they did not want kids evidently getting sweaty, worked up or whatever, although you would think so, because we might be more calm when you get into class. And I remember Sister Miriam Grace comes on the PA system. She's like, students, you must not play with your balls before class. And everybody's losing it because she doesn't realize what she's saying.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
The comedy writes itself in Catholic school. It seriously does.
It does. During recess, we played a lot of like two-hand touch football, because we didn't have like the flags. So you just had to touch them with two hands. And then
We're doing that crap on cement too.
Yeah.
We were not doing it in grass.
No, there were some real wipeouts, I'm not going to lie. And then I love to be on the swings. We used to play this game, really dangerous actually, where we would get going opposite directions and somebody would have to run in between. And once you got...
We, as children, we really were dumb because some of the stuff that we did. Because we played? It was called Butts Up. And that game is, all right, you have a tennis ball and you throw it against the wall. And then you got to catch it. And there's like 10 people. So you throw it, and if you try and catch it and you drop it, you got to run to the wall before somebody gets it and throws it.
Throws it at you?
No, they throw it at the wall. And if they hit the wall before you get to the wall, you have to stand there, and everybody gets a chance of throwing the tennis ball at your butt.
Wow. Jeez, that sounds dangerous, Kevin. Well, we got to move on. That was all of our back to school stuff because a lot of districts in the Central Valley are getting back to school.
Back to school.
But now we're going to head over to Billboard top 10 songs for the Hot 100. Kevin, break it down.
Well, look at this. The things that stick out at me is Shabuzi, Teddy Swims, Morgan Wallen, all still in the top 10. I still don't get the Morgan Wallen craze, but that's just me. But amazing is K-pop has knocked Alex Warren out of the top spot. And you know what I say about K-pop? You cannot stop K-pop. You can only help to control it.
Yeah.
Because K-pop, I don't get it, but it is huge.
It's very
From
huge.
4 to 40. I know 40, 50-year-old women that love K-pop, and I don't get it.
Yeah.
But, kudos to them. Alex Warren, I think, had been on a 9 or 10 week run. And he got bounced out. Again, I just don't get the Morgan Wallen. I don't get it. Never will. But, hey.
Hey, Justin Bieber on there, Chapel Rowan. I heard Chapel Rowan, to get into her concert, I guess you have to be added to a wait list. Yeah. And there's only a select few places that these shows are actually going to be. But there's hardly anybody that's going to be able to go to these concerts.
You know what's crazy about going to a concert nowadays is that they're all expensive.
Yeah.
You cannot go to a concert cheap.
Unless you go to a festival and then maybe you see a lot of people.
No, but you're still paying $400 and you have to be at the festival.
That's true.
So going to Oasis, I got a pre-sale, got my tickets under $100 each, probably $85.
Okay.
So it's at the Rose Bowl.
That's nice.
Just because I got an email from SeatGeek, hey, Oasis is coming. So I just wanted to peruse my seats that I paid in the pre-sale for $80 are going for $309.
You're
and I'm not anywhere near the floor.
Wow.
I'm like, it is crazy how if you don't get in on the ground floor, you're just going to pay an arm and a leg. And this is what happened. I know you're not a Taylor Swift fan, but
yeah.
Kathy wanted to see Taylor Swift. I tried to get in. The system crashed.
No, it was so hard. People had to be on there for forever.
And it came back. It was too late because all the tickets were gone. And then there was $1,500, $2,000. Somebody I know that saw Taylor Swift at Levi Stadium had floor seats. The day before their show, they could have sold those floor seats for $8,000.
I would have done it. I would have done it. I know Swifties love it. And I will say one thing about Taylor Swift is she can really get a lot of fans behind her because, wow.
Well, and she also puts on a 3-hour show.
Yeah, that's true.
She's not just...
I know. My sister saw it, and she said it was incredible.
Yeah.
But there were people that were, literally waiting in line for those tickets for, 24 hours. Obviously, you've seen the stuff with, Ticketmaster and the different lawsuits and kind of stuff because of that whole thing.
I'm gonna tell you,
she does have a new album that's coming out, and, man, it's so
she's going to be on her
interesting.
boyfriend's podcast? That's going to break the internet.
It already has, pretty much.
And so,
you got 30 seconds, so
Ticketmaster, back in the day, Pearl Jam tried to do a concert where all their tickets were $5, and they sued Ticketmaster. They ended up making a settlement, and they were unable to defeat the monster that is Ticketmaster.
Wow.
Boom, Ticketmaster.
That is crazy.
You kill us.
Yeah, so the 12 studio album is already breaking the internet, and Travis Kelce, go look up his GQ magazine. Odd. That's what we're going to end on.
Travis in the wild.
Let's get loud. We'll see you next week.
Adios.